And then we had another King of the Ring match with Daryl Dawkins of the Street Profits, along with Montez Ford and B-Fab. Bobby Lashley is apparently hurt now. In training.
What's the injury? I didn't see what the injury was.
To look at him, apparently it's goddamn somebody ran over him with a car. How does that beast get hurt? And in training. They didn't say what the injury was. I have no idea. Because he was in training. I wasn't even there. But so Dawkins filled in against Tama Tonga with Paul and the Bloodline, and Tama Tonga won fairly quickly, and then Solo spiked the babyface afterwards because he's like that. And that pretty odd. Do you have any other comments to make on this outing?
Just in general, not just the backstage segments, these in-ring moments, sometimes called matches. What are your thoughts on Solo in this role so far? And what are your thoughts on, really haven't seen Tonga Loa too much, but Tama Tonga since he's debuted? Again, he's someone who's really been elevated. He was in New Japan for a long time. I don't think anyone ever thought he would get an opportunity like this, and he's really run with it. So what do you think?
Yeah, his work looks good. He's got emotion and aggression and etc. I'm liking Tama Tonga. I don't know that he could be the guy to speak for this group now, or that Solo needs to be the guy to speak for this group now. Because even if they got Solo over as the master of the Samoan Spike and the dangerous guy and blah, 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 he still doesn't look like the leader to me. He looks, the leader, meaning the leader of this group or the guy that needs to be the leader of any group. And I know they're dressing him up, and I'm not knocking him, but he's still new. And I don't know. The hired thug within the group was fine. I don't know about the guy that's going to take over in the fans' eyes or take over the Bloodline group in the storyline for Roman fucking Reigns with 10 years of history behind him. So we'll see. But
I think that's a story. In a way, it elevates Solo a little bit, and obviously it can't go on forever. If it does, it'll have to really take, and so far it has. But you have to think it's kind of a short-term thing leading to something to further the overall Bloodline story.
I just wish there was... It looks like a group of three guys that are mostly equal in size and, level in perception with the fans.
But I think that's kind of that's kind of the story. That's kind of the gimmick in a way. It's that Solo is taking this all on his own. He's not asking for anyone's advice. He's just making moves like a young guy probably shouldn't, unless he's got juice. And eventually someone's going to have to put him in check because he's still a young guy doing it. So it works in that way. It's not like he's a natural leader. It's not like The Rock leading this thing right now. So I'm okay with that aspect of it for Solo.
I wish he was stronger verbally. Let's put it that way. Can you imagine what MJF could do if he
was Samoan?
Well, no, I'm saying if he was in a group where the top guy in the group had been the top guy in the business for the past several years, and all of a sudden that guy's gone and MJF gets to break out from under that shadow, that type of thing. That would work.
It's not a perfect comparison, but Triple H, after Shawn Michaels left at WrestleMania, in 1998, all of a sudden he was the leader of DX. And, there was no looking back from that point. And it ended up working in the end for him. It worked really well for him.
yeah, it did. And again, he'd been there in the mix and on top for a couple of years. He's a foot taller than Solo. He's significantly more physically impressive and could fucking talk and would talk incessantly back in those days, Triple H. But nevertheless, we'll see what happens here.